These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Monday, May 20th, ahead of the Celtics Eastern Conference Final Series against the Indiana Pacers. Lots of stuff to talk about today. Some quotes from practice, stuff about their mentality, quotes on Kristaps Porzingis, Draymond Green's thoughts on the series, because why not? Yeah, plenty of stuff. Sam, how you doing today?
Having a day. Having a day. But I am excited for the show. More conference finals talk ahead. Got the Wolves onto the conference finals. Denver gone.
It's true. It's true.
Some rumors trickling in and out. Lots of stuff to get to today.
Plenty of stuff indeed. Let's start with this mentality thing. So I was about to throw it over to a game recap, because I'm just so used to having games to talk about that it's weird not have a game to talk about. But Derek White said something at practice today. I did not go. I didn't feel well this morning, but I'm fine. But he said, quote, basically asked how much he appreciates being in the position he's in, the Celtics being in the Eastern Conference Finals, sort of stabilized, continued success. He said, yeah, it's pretty cool. Something that I kind of took for granted, I would say. Then I was talking with Drew, and he's only been, this is his second time in the Eastern Conference Finals, which is crazy because he's done so much in the league and been on so many good teams. But it's hard to get to this spot. So definitely a cool thing to be a part of it. I'm thankful and blessed, and just got to go out there and embrace the moment. And I feel like this is important because the Celtics, since that 2022 run, feels like they've sort of steadied on a balance. In 2022, it felt like the Eastern, making the finals was their finals. You look at the way they celebrated after that Eastern Conference Finals run, and they were that was their accomplishment that year. And that's not to say they couldn't have won or should have, whatever. The finals is irrelevant to the point I'm making. The point is they treated the Eastern Conference Finals, getting out of it, the accomplishment that it was, rightfully so. But then that's sort of where it felt like their mentality ended. Yes, this is the peak. This is what we were striving for, when really there was one more series, one more thing to go after. Last year, it felt like, all right, we've already been to the finals. Let's just get back there. We're good. Doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna mess with us on the way there. It's fine. We'll get there eventually. And then they sort of fell into it's not the same as, but the Hawks trap, the Hawks of, oh, we'll get back. Don't worry. And then the Hawks have just never been back. It felt like the Celtics were taking it for granted. And then throughout the course of this year, it feels like consistently guys have been asked, what does this accomplishment mean to you? What does it mean to have this level of success? And they've sort of presented this blend of we know what the big goal is, but what we're doing is awesome. And it's great that the heights we've been able to achieve, and specifically the Jays being asked about it, the heights we've been able to achieve together. And I think it's really healthy and really impressive to see the way they've been carrying themselves, because everyone wants them to be this doesn't fucking matter. It's you got to win a title, and deep down, they know that. I truly believe that they understand that it is that is the only goal. That is the one goal. But at the same time, to Derek's point, Drew Holiday, everyone's oh, he's won a championship. This is the peak. He's made the Eastern Conference Finals twice, and so yes, all anyone cares about is the rings. But even getting there to get a chance to get the ring is not something that a lot of these top players get, and that just shows you how much of a monumental task it is to win a championship. And I just think the mentality they've taken on that front all season has been super fun to watch unfold.
Yeah, they've definitely bought into whatever Mazzulla is selling them. He's been the biggest mindset guy all season. That's been what he's been preaching since day one. These guys have come in, a lot of new guys in the core, and they've managed to hit the ground running. They've done a tremendous job of dominating from opening night on, really. They've bought into him. They aren't getting ahead of themselves. It's very rare to see them play poorly multiple days in a row, never mind multiple quarters. All the same stuff we've been saying all season remains true, and a lot of it has to do with their mentality. And it'll be interesting to see how they attack this series differently than they did in years past, because Eastern Conference Finals 2022, they lose game one. Granted, they're on the road, but they still lose game one. Last year, they lose the first three games. They really could be in a position to dominate the series if they come out and play for real and stay locked in and don't get rattled, I suppose, if things don't necessarily go their way. And I think that's really what they're preparing for. That's what this is all about. Is if something happens, if Indiana comes out and shoots the lights out in a game, you're not going to get discouraged. You're going to go out there, you're going to continue to take care of business as you've seen them do in rounds 1 and 2. Both game 2s have been a disaster. The opposing team has shot unbelievable clips from the field and from 3, and then they came out in 3 and 4 and just dominated. Interested to see how this series gets off, for sure.
I don't even think I don't know. I think it just goes back to my whole what's the word for it? How much I dislike the way Boston fans discuss the Celtics. Because it is impressive what they've done. It's objectively impressive what they've done. But it doesn't matter. And no one's going to look at it as impressive until they win a championship, which I get it. And I get that that's the bar. And I can understand that. But it's frustrating because they've been so good. They've been so good for so long, and just none of it is going to matter until they eventually get over the hump. And I'm glad they've settled into a mindset and a space where they don't care with what other people think and the way people talk about them and stuff like that. But I don't know. I like this perspective from Derek White, and I like what Drew brought in, because like I said, Drew was brought in and the whole thing was, oh yeah, he's won a championship, he's got that experience. I think Jason Tatum's probably won just as many playoff games as Drew Holiday. I wonder what that stat is. I'm genuinely curious because Drew's been in the league a lot longer, so I'm probably talking out of my ass. But
I mean, these guys on the Celtics have won a ton of playoff games. Horford probably has to be up there, maybe has more than the rest of the guys because he was around before.
Okay, yeah. So Al Horford has 90 playoff wins. Tatum has 60 and Drew Holiday has 45. I get it. And he's got the quote more experience because he's got that title, but I don't know, that's what, a really good playoff run or 2 mid-tier playoff runs more than Drew Holiday. I don't know. I'm not saying the championship factor is overrated or anything. I obviously know it's not. But my point is it takes everything aligning to get over that hump, and being miserable. I think that's the whole thing I'm trying to center on. It goes back to the whole practice thing. Fans just expect these guys to be miserable until they achieve the goal, but they can simultaneously appreciate what they've accomplished, have fun playing what is not even glorified. It's a fucking children's sport that they get paid millions of dollars to play, and also understand that there's a bigger goal and the importance of reaching that. Fans just expect Tatum after a game 2 loss to the Cavs to go home, shut himself in his room and do nothing for 3 days and just be depressed. But I think that's what I hate about the way sports are discussed and fans treat these people, because it's just that's not life. If you have a bad day, Sam, if you have a bad day at work, are you just gonna go home and cry and ignore it until the next day? No, you're gonna go play video games or take something take your mind off or do some shit to get over it. That's life. But since these guys are put on a screen for millions and millions of people to see, and so many people have invested probably too much of their personalities and livelihoods into their success, it turns into, if I'm not happy because you guys lost, you're not allowed to be happy, which is I dislike. And I'm happy that the Celtics have found a way or settled on in a place where they have sort of dispelled that from their brains.
Well, I think at this point, I don't think these guys should be mad at themselves. They've done just about everything they can do. They've played, they've taken care of business for the most part. If you want to get mad at the one loss, go for it. Or the one loss in each series is what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. There were people after that Cavs series commenting on my practice videos going, why is this guy smiling? It's 2 days later and it's post-practice shooter and they're listening to fucking Bad Bunny on a speaker. What are we doing? Are you guys ill? It's just, I hate that part of the discourse.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I suppose when you talk about this, you're not really talking to me. So I guess if you're getting really mad that these guys are enjoying the non-basketball parts of their life or whatever, I don't know what to tell you. But I don't think it's it's also not raise a banner because they're here. But
no,
that's not what you're saying.
It's not what I'm saying. No, but I think they get that, and I think that's the good balance that they found. Like they can appreciate what they've done, where they've accomplished, and also understand that it's not the ultimate goal. I just like the people who get so unfathomably hung up on every win and loss, and I get that's like 10x in the playoffs, but like,
O'Shea put up a
tough.
video about this, and he
Mm.
talked a little bit about going to the conference finals.
Should I
Noah
play it?
clipped it, of
Of course she
course.
did. Shocker.
And he says, I mean, I'll link it to you in the private chat if you want
I
to
can play it
it.
right now if you want to play it. It's 15 seconds. Yeah, here we go.
Perfect. Yeah,
I got it. Here
for
we go.
But he puts this in a little bit of perspective.
All right, here we go. Here's our Shaper set. Prissy file. Shout out.
But it's just crazy. Like, bro, we're in the conference finals. That's nuts, bro. And these guys do this every year. Like, this is what I want to be a part of. This is what I need to be a part of. This is it right here. This is better than anything. It's just fun. But it's just crazy. Like, bro,
Like, Buddy Hield is the first guy I thought of. He's like a good NBA player. Makes like 20 mil. First time he's ever made the playoffs was this year. Like,
Yeah, won 2 games.
not only is Jason Tatum great, not only is Jaylen Brown great, but the Celtics have done a phenomenal job of putting a great team here. And it's hard to win a championship, man. Should the Celtics have done better? Should they probably ring? Probably. Yeah. They underachieved last year. Absolutely. 100%. There's no denying that. But that's last year. There's absolutely literally nothing you can do to change what happened in 22 and 23. All they can do is learn from their mistakes, focus on this year, enjoy the process, and do everything in their power to win this year. And people get so caught up on everything, like even the past, like even game to game. I know like losing a game 2 and then a day later talking about it is absolutely like a valid thing to do. But like, what do you want it to do? Like, I just hate the space of they failed here and then like murdering them before giving them a chance to like fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a balance to it all because like I've written stuff. I've written they sucked in game 2 against the Heat. They didn't close out well enough. Blah blah blah. Like you have to analyze what happened and figure out what did wrong. But I think there's a way to do that without like being the miserable portion that a lot of Twitter is.
I think if there's anything we've learned from the playoffs this year / other teams in the playoffs this year is one loss doesn't mean you're dead.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess there is that crazy contingent of people, but like you see it. I don't see the people being like, why are they smiling?
Yeah. It's people are wild, man. Anyways, Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Drew Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Drew Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Before we get to this Kristaps thing, I thought of this. It doesn't have to be like a full thing. Did you see the clip of KG and Paul Pierce about the Timberwolves and the Celtics?
No, I didn't see that.
I want to find it and play it. Hold on, let me timestamp this.
CLNS shared a wonderful video today of Sam Cassell jumping up to knock down a stuck ball at practice, and Tatum was hyped. Sam Cassell jumping up probably gets a little above the rim to tap the ball out.
Respect. But I saw on TikTok this morning. Oh, I hope I'm going to be able to find it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It was basically Paul Pierce going, if it's Wolves Celtics in the finals, who you rooting for? And KG just goes, whoever wins the game. I'm the only man on the planet. Damn,
true.
I need to find the clip now. This is gonna piss me off. Was it? It was on TikTok. Hold up, because I really want to play the clip because I cannot do it justice without playing it. He was like,
certified is the thing. If I Twitter it, it'll probably come up.
Shit.
Is this it?
What?
All the Smoke Productions. Just gonna pull it up finally.
Sorry, audio listeners. This is probably not very fun for you, but I'm determined. No, it's not on TikTok. I don't know where I was. Oh, I found it. Yes. Okay. Cool. I can just go to my TikTok and then likes. Hold up. Okay. Come on. I got there eventually. Okay, here we go. Liked. And yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to share all of my TikTok likes. Actually, let me click on it first so we're not exposing my dumbass for. Okay. Here we go. Here's the clip. Apologies, audio listeners. Here's KG and Pierce talking about Celtics, Minnesota.
Celtics play Minnesota in the finals. What you on?
I knew you was going to ask that. I actually thought we was going to cover the Knicks, Boston.
No,
I thought we was going to cover that.
I'm saying, what you on, Lord?
So,
what you on, Lord?
So I'm the only
what you
one.
on, Ticket?
I'm finna tell you.
What you on, Tick?
So I'm the only one here qualified to be in this position, to hold the position
What
that
you
I have.
on, Lord?
I'm 50-50, Lord. I'm love.
Oh.
I'm the only one that can sit here in the middle and root for both. I'm the only one that can do that in the world.
Damn.
Me. You hear me?
So if Minnesota win, you gonna go to the locker room.
Oh, yeah, where to get that shit? Yeah.
Game 2 of Boston win, you gonna go to the locker room.
Yeah, where to get that shit? Yeah.
Then
I love y'all.
Then game 3 Minnesota win, you gonna
Yeah,
go
where
to
to get that shit? Yeah. Game 4 Boston win. Yeah, where to get that shit? Yeah. I'm the only nigga qualified that can do this. Nobody in league history can do this.
Game 7 Minnesota win.
Where to get that
we
shit?
got it, y'all. We did it, y'all.
Yeah.
We did it, y'all.
Yeah.
We did it, y'all.
Yeah. Fuck you mean?
I really liked it. I was a big fan of the clip. He just goes, I'm the only motherfucker allowed to root for both teams.
He is. I was trying to think of other people. Don't have him.
Nope. Sam Cassell's the only other one, right? He played for both teams and he won a title.
Well, he's the coach. He's on a coaching staff.
Yeah. Exactly.
I guess you could like point at the other guys in those trades, like Al Jefferson, diehard Celtics Wolves guy.
Not the same. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. Celtics players and Joe Mazzulla. So the Celtics have had some very kind things to say about Kristaps Porzingis in his recovery. I'll read them quick and we can talk about it. JB, Jaylen Brown said, KP's been great, still been very active getting at every practice, making sure he's still involved in every team huddle and just staying in the mix. Mentally, even though physically he's not fully there yet, mentally he's still been engaged, and that's a great sign. When his body catches up to full health, he'll be ready to rock and roll. Joe said, and he was asked about like KP, where he's at mentally. Said he's in a great place. He's working hard every single day to make as fast a recovery as he can. He's there for everything. Can't go underestimated how hard he works trying to come back in a timely fashion. And then Drew said, KP, he works hard. He's working hard to come back. Also, if I know him, he keeps himself engaged. He keeps himself engaged with the team. He's a great locker room guy, great teammate, somebody who's super funny. So it's been pretty easy, I think, to keep him engaged. And we know that he wants to play. We know that he wants to get out here and play with his teammates. So again, seeing him out here, seeing him working hard has been good. And honestly, just hope he recovers fast. So it sounds like KP's in a good place mentally, which is important as well. Cause like he was very, very down after the injury happened. He looked very upset about everything that happened, obviously, because this is the whole reason he came to his team to play in the playoffs. And now he's having to sit out, but it's good to hear that he's in a good spot, at least like mentally speaking.
Yeah. I mean, Porzingis has always seemed to be a guy that's high spirits, optimist type. I understand, like, if you get hurt, you're heated. I'd be heated. I was heated for him. So it's good that he's out there getting work. I know Joe told the reporters at the Auerbach Center today that Porzingis didn't practice. I just love when they're like, hey, Joe, what's going on with Porzingis? He's like, no idea.
Dude, it's the biggest scam.
Yeah.
He's just like
I
forgot.
Porzingis would be doing like individual workouts, and Joe's just Sandra Bullock from Bird Box with the blindfold over her face. He's just like, oh, nope, can't. He's actually like so committed to being honest, though, like he won't look.
Well, the media's gotten like crafty with it too, but Joe's still committing to the bit. Like before, it was Joe. Do you know if there's any update? I have no idea. Joe, do you know if like Kristaps has like injuries healed at all? I have no idea. And those are things like he probably wouldn't know because that's like injury stuff, and so he's fine.
Sure.
Has Kristaps been on the court? I have no idea. Motherfucker, you're on the court. What do you mean you haven't? Like you're just lying. you're just
not at practice, Joe.
Yeah, I respect a bit. I will say he did come in watching the Man City game during his press conference and put his phone down to do it. But they won the league yesterday, right?
Yeah,
2 days ago.
Just always win the league.
Is this their fourth in a row?
Them. Fuck Pep.
Is this 4 or 3?
It's at
4.
least 3.
Premier
Liverpool won in 2020. Arsenal got one, I think. So I think they're 2 in a row.
No, 4 in a row for Man City.
Is it 4 in a row?
Yeah, it was Liverpool in 2020, then Man City. Man United was second in 21. Liverpool was second in 22. Arsenal's been second the last 2 years.
Yeah, Pep's the worst guy ever.
If it weren't for Liverpool's 2020, they would have won 7 in a row because Man City won 18-19.
Always Man City.
That's horrendous. That's like if the Warriors just kept KD and kept winning.
No salary cap. Ownership will spend every year.
Respect.
That's what you're going to get. Not my money.
Yeah, exactly. Respect. I was going to say, like, it's kind of what you want, no? Anyways, alas.
But yeah, no Kristaps actual update.
No, just teammates saying.
What do you think on this? You were a little pessimistic last time we talked about this.
I don't know if he's back until like the end of this series.
Why do you say that?
Because there's no real need. One, there's no need, and it does like even though he was moving better in Cleveland, it still didn't feel like he was moving at game speed. Like it still felt like he was moving a little bit gingerly. I know he was on the big bike at practice, right. Yes, but like it just feels like he's moving a step slow. And if you're even a step slow, you can't play.
Cleveland was a week ago today. That was game 4 was Monday. It's Monday.
Oh my God. Jesus. It's going by so quick. And they have so many gaps like in between the games.
Yeah, but like to put it in perspective, so he's had an extra week since the last time you really get to look at him. And your take is you just don't think they should have him play because you want to let him back, which I agree with. I
haven't seen him since Cleveland. In fairness, like I haven't seen him
but like when I was like, "Why are you pessimistic?" You just say, "Because I don't think they're going to need him."
Partially, yeah, but I also think you could get him a couple warm-up games would be nice.
So which is it?
I don't know. Like I think they should get him the warm-up games, but I don't think they care about that. I think they just want to get him on the court as soon he is fully healthy to go, but I don't think that's yet. Like I don't think it'll be till the end of the series. So I think he'll get maybe one game in. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play till the finals. I genuinely don't know. They're just not saying shit about it, to be honest. Like I have nothing for you. This is all opinion.
I don't think they're going to need him.
No.
But one of their losses did come when Porzingis didn't play.
It's true.
Might actually be both losses. Because I know he got poked in the eye in one of those indie games. I know they won the one where he got poked, but I don't know if he actually suited up in the following game or not. Because they played their back-to-back in January. Not sure.
Anyways, last Celtics thing before the email. Draymond Green has weighed in. Sound the alarms in case anybody was waiting. I know you all were. He said, I still personally think they're an 82-game team, talking about the Pacers. But I didn't think the Knicks was real, so somebody had to get there. I got Boston, no problem. Should be a gentleman's sweep. They got to the conference finals. Someone has to get there. It's the East. We get it. Someone's got to go. But congrats to them. That's dope. But I think this is going to be the end of the road for them. Very confident in Celtics over Pacers. The last time Draymond said something like this, the Heat took him to 7 games before the Celtics won. But I tend to agree.
He said that 2 years ago?
Like in 2020 after game 5. Remember, they asked him, like, who you think you're playing in the finals? And he was like, we're playing Boston. And then Udonis Haslem walks up to the camera and goes, thank you. And then they lost game 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. Do we have examples? The Miami team was different a couple years ago than like what I mean is this Pacers team has very like 2018 Celtics type vibes, not to where they're banged up, but just to where a lot of these guys are on the younger side. You have a few
the
guys that
Hawks.
have been around the block.
It's the Hawks.
The Hawks is a good one. I don't think it means like it's a steamroll. I don't know what to think about this. I don't think this should go 7. I don't know if I think it should go 6, but it feels like the 5 games are going to be tight.
Exactly. I think it's gonna be a Cavs 5 game, except tighter. Like I think they're
I
gonna have
also
to win a
would
couple
prefer
close
the loss
games.
to come on the road this time. That's what I
We
prefer.
know, we're aware.
But seriously,
say,
so
Indy hasn't lost at home yet, so
they haven't. But for what it's worth here, Draymond semi has a point. Like, this Pacers team does feel like a regular season team. They're built to win games across an 82-game span. They have good depth, which is going to help them in a 7-game series. The longer this goes, like, they're not going to fall off a cliff like the Knicks did. But it actually feels like there is weight to this. I know I'm not doing it justice. You nailed it with the Hawks take. It just feels like a team that is going to impress you at times, but they don't have the presence of, oh, I'm deathly afraid of that guy.
they don't have the talent. I think that's
like
where it
even
starts.
the Knicks, they had Brunson. The Brunson
Yeah.
layer of the Knicks was like, oh, this guy, he can
And when you
go
play him,
stretches where he's unbelievably unconscious. You can't stop him no matter what.
Well,
Halliburton's a stud, and he had big moments in these
Mhm.
Knicks games, but he's not on that same level.
I
until
agree,
he
but
is.
I do think the Knicks. I think the Pacers thing is they all do that. Like they all just make all the shots. Like they all just decide, yeah, we're gonna make
Well,
everything.
We're
today.
coming off of Game 7.
Well, they've shot 50% or better in over half their games. Like this isn't like a new thing. They shoot the ball really well in general. Like here, you want me to pull up the box scores? I looked at it this morning.
I don't want the box score. I just want the team playoff stats. So I can reference them. I know about I did my research, but I don't know as a team what they've been shooting. I know they have guys that are going to piss you off.
Really well. They've shot really well. In the playoffs so far, the Pacers have shot 50.7% from the field.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Celtics are at what?
48.
48, just for perspective.
Pacers are the best three-point shooting team at 38.1. Celtics are third at 37.7.
Yeah. Siakam 53%, Halliburton 49%, Turner 51%, 45% from 3. Nembhard 57%, 48.7% from 3. Toppin 53%, shooting 33% from 3. TJ 48%, 26% from 3. Neesmith 43-30. Shepard 49-47. And Isaiah
They make
Jackson.
all the shots.
They just probably
make all the
take
shots.
good shots. Like when I'm watching them play the Knicks, the only guy that really felt like he was taking difficult shots was Siakam.
Halliburton was stepping back 50 feet behind the line.
Halliburton's shots are not like the. I don't know how to describe it properly. It's like his stuff all feels like it's in rhythm.
Yeah, but it's like a step back hezzy over a guy's hand. Like it can be in rhythm, but it's still contested.
He's getting to like the wing spots. Like Siakam is like taking for followaways, like mid-range shot creation stuff. Like Halliburton's is like coming off a pick, step to the side for a little extra space.
Not the ones he was hitting against the Knicks.
I don't know. I don't want to.
Regardless, they shoot well. They're a good team. Going into this year, if I had told you one of the Pacers, Wolves, or Nuggets, or excuse me, Pacers, Wolves, or Mavs was going to be in the NBA Finals, what would you say? This is such a weird like Final Four group.
Coming into the season. I forget which of these teams I even had the highest. Probably Dallas. Maybe.
I think you might have had Timberwolves and the Mavs out of the playoffs, or at least one of them out of the playoffs.
One of them was out. Might have been Minnesota. Thought they were fucked.
Should we?
I think I might have been higher on the Pacers than most.
You had Indiana at
6.
8 or 7, 8.
8.
I had them at 8.
Yeah.
I had Minnesota 9th. You had Minnesota 11th.
Yep.
I had Dallas 10th. You had Dallas 10th. So, or 9th. So,
Okay.
yeah, shows how much we know.
Red hot.
Yeah,
Nailed
look at
it.
us go. Jesus Christ. All right. Phoenix, man. Yikes. Anyways,
Hey, gang, let me tell you a little something about game time. The NBA playoffs have arrived. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Who doesn't want to get in on the fun? With game time, you can experience it with your own eyes. Get yourself great seats to games with even greater prices. That's right. You can save when getting your tickets with Game Time. It's an authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting those playoff tickets even faster and easier. Plus, the prices on Game Time usually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. Who doesn't love to save a little bit of money? I certainly do. I used Game Time back in March when I took the lady to a game. We went to see the Celtics play our Pistons, and it was great. I could look and see what the seat view would be just using the app. Didn't have to be surprised when I showed up. Plus, you do get those last-minute deals. They have the flash deals and zone deals. Zone deals, which you can choose a section of the arena and let Game Time choose those seats. You'll save a little bit of money that way. You can download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, that's code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
let's go to the email here, see what y'all have to say. A reminder, as always, make sure to email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'd appreciate it very much. We'd love to hear from you. So let's see what we've got cooking today. Here we go. All right. 2 emails, one from RJ, one from Pete, staples of the email crew. Appreciate y'all for the love. First one here. Let's try a new email view here. Let's see how we like this. Do we like this? Let's see. First one from RJ. With love and respect, a quick recap of Boston Indy this year. Afternoon, guys. Well, Tibbs managed to waste HCA and burn his guys out again, but more than another time. What'd you say?
I was like, what is HCA? Yeah.
I did the same thing. That's why I slowed down. Home court advantage. Quick reminder for everyone, the Celtics took the season series against Pacers 3-2. The 2 losses were in Indy. C's also won a game there. And in those losses, the following occurred. The Pacers won by 2 points and 10 points. Pacers made more threes than the Celtics in each of them. Pacers shot 47.5% in both their victories. They shot 31% or worse in their losses. In one of the losses, the Celtics did not suit up either Tatum or Sam Hauser. That was the 2-point loss. All of this is to say the Celtics can and should take down the Pacers in maybe 4 games, but 5 feels right. Unlike the first 2 rounds, if the Pacers get a win, it will be in Indianapolis. Knock on wood, RJ. I do hope Coach Mazzulla can expand his circle of trust while KP keeps rehabbing, whether it's Tillman, Nemi, or even Brissett. Given the speed Indiana wants to play, Al's going to need some additional ref beyond what Luke can provide. Be well. And good luck finding a hotel space. Maybe check with the Celtics traveling check secretary for an assistance. RJ, and the son of a travel agent who used to do bookings for sporting events. Our the Airbnb we're gonna book is booked. We got cooked. We got sniped. So
Booked?
yeah.
Was it like
got
a cool
taken.
one?
It was just nice, and it was on the cheaper side, and it haven't had enough beds for us all. So, but we'll figure it out. But
You guys,
yeah,
fucking up the creek without a paddle going Indy.
it's so tough, man. It's so annoying. But whatever, we'll get it done. We'll figure it out eventually.
Absolute disaster. Like somebody on Reddit went to the Celtics sub and was a Pacers fan, was like, if you guys are looking for something to do, if you're traveling for these games, Indy 500. And I was excited when I saw the post. I was like, oh, this is great. I'll send it to everybody I know that's going. And I was like, well, they all know about that because it's just fucking them sideways.
Correct.
Ticket prices and in accommodations, all of it sucks. RV.
Awful. It's real bad. No RV. I don't want to drive an RV. Thank you for the email, RJ. And yeah, I think they should be all right. I still don't. Tillman's questionable for game 1. Porzingis is out. I don't know about Nemi or Brissett, but I guess we'll see. Next email, last email from Pete. Not really basketball related. Excuse me. I have to cough. Pete says, "Hey, gentlemen, I just got the student evaluation report for the semester just ended. So I'm allowing myself 1 day victory lapping. Check out the comments. Students always love the guest speakers I bring. That's consistent across time. The class was 7:10 to 9:40 on Monday evenings, causing me to miss a bunch of C's games. Oh, no. All right. So Pete's a professor. I didn't realize that, but shout out, Pete. Question, what do you like most about this course? These are the answers. I like the real cases and examples. We used to study and learn key course concepts. Both professors show their passion in what they're teaching and provide fascinating stories or experience in the field. All of it. They didn't answer what all of it is. I'm not going to read everything because there's long answers. I love the unique perspectives, knowledgeable and interesting guests that were great. Guests, topics, interesting to hear the experiences, best professionals. What did you like least? Nothing. Handwriting and handwriting mid and final exams, schedule, time in the class. Nothing I can mention. And then Pete says, hope KP ends up with a decent playoff report card when all is said and done. Cheers, Pete. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate you. Shout out you for being a goat.
Putting together a good lecture, good class.
Shout out Pete. I want to take Pete. Pete, let us know what you teach. I tried to figure it out, but I couldn't figure it out based on the responses. Let us know what courses. Anyways, all right, let's go to the NBA here. Sam, Nuggets, no more. Wow. Jokic out of the playoffs. Anthony Edwards got the job. Well, the Wolves got the job done. I won't say Anthony Edwards because he had a kind of a stinker. But Jokic out of the playoffs. Nuggets blew a 20-point Game 7 lead, largest in NBA history, after the Cavs did the same to the Magic in the first round. And now the Wolves are in the Western Conference Finals against the Mavs. Crazy. Crazy the Nuggets are out.
Celtics kind of catch a break a little bit. Don't have to play Jokic. I'm not, this is not me discounting the talent that the Timberwolves have. They just don't have Jokic. Jokic is just a bad matchup for the Celtics. They don't really have the right
for everyone, except the Wolves, apparently,
except for Minnesota. But seriously, like Jokic is a very difficult cover. He's somebody where if the Celtics are playing against Denver, I don't love them in a close game. Not that I ever love the Celtics in a close game, just because I'm me, not even because of them anymore, but just because I'm like, But like he's very difficult to stop. If you do stop him, he's going to make you pay for overcompensating, and he's just going to find open guys. That game in Denver was a prime example of that. They just killed the Celtics, getting buckets right next to the rim every play down the stretch. Now you get to play either Minnesota or Dallas if you make the finals. Dallas you beat the piss out of both times you played them this year. Minnesota you had 2 excellent games against. Both went to overtime. Game in Minnesota you had a shot to win, miss it. Did they have a shot to win the game in Boston too? I think they did. I believe they missed an elbow jumper before overtime.
I don't remember, but perhaps.
I think they
yes.
But anyways, you got a great home atmosphere game against Minnesota back. I think it was in January. You had a big Holiday shot in that game. Just total chaos in the closing minutes. It was a lot of fun to watch. Now, I am not somebody that roots for fun in the playoffs. My definition of playoff fun is the Celtics winning, and I don't have to worry about it. But if you are neutral, you should probably root for Celtics-Wolves because I think you would get some good games. Minnesota has good defensive guys to guard Tatum and Brown. Gobert does a good job protecting the rim. If Porzingis is healthy, it throws a wrinkle in where you have to worry about who's going to guard him. Is he going to be able to effectively stretch the floor? And ultimately, one of Gobert or Towns is going to end up guarding somebody that's not a center. Towns did a lot of work guarding Jokic in the
did a good job
series. And they stuck Gobert on who? Aaron Gordon. Yep. They let him play the Rob role. So I don't know if the Celtics have an Aaron Gordon. That's the thing. No. If you're the Celtics, your biggest goal in this Pacers series, besides winning, should be making sure everybody's got some confidence in the back of their pocket.
Yeah. It's going to be Drew Holiday. They're going to stick Rudy and Drew Holiday, if I had to guess.
Holiday has been better.
I agree. No, I think it's a good thing. I think you can bring him out to the perimeter and then he'll be okay. But
Actually, talking about the game now. This game, we didn't get to watch all of
No.
it. We were at our stupid fucking men's league tournament, and they did have TVs there. So we got to watch some of the third quarter live. As we said, Nuggets blew 20-point lead. And I think we sat down and it was a 15-point game. Then it was 12. So we watched the comeback happen.
Mhm.
And then we played our game and we finished up and then the game was over. Anthony Edwards has 16 points and 6 of 24 shooting. Cat and Jaden McDaniels 23 points each. Nothing wrong with team ball. But as those of you on Defend the Wall Celtics Twitter pointed out today, had Tatum scored 16 points on 6 of 24, and we'll say Jalen and Kristaps scored 23 points each en route to a Game 7 win, everybody would be screaming super team, oh my God, Tatum got carried, this guy does nothing. All of the things that people that are Celtics fans hate would be being said. Yet, you don't really hear much of that today, except for people trying to like perspective it. Like, oh, well, if it was this guy, you would say this. And I'm okay with that if it was like that for everybody. Because it's a team game. Minnesota's guys stepped up. Cat played a good game. Cat had a huge like burden on him going into this because it was like, does this guy do anything? He's a big liability. They really like discuss Cat like he's an X factor, which he is. But there's a reason for that. It's because sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't, sometimes his temper gets in the way, sometimes he takes stupid fouls. And he actually had a really good game in Game 7. So credit to him. Credit to Jaden McDaniels for playing both sides of the ball. And the Wolves are through.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the memes. It was like Jokic after Game 7, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm very sad. No basketball anymore. And then he goes, you don't have to pretend. He goes, no, I was actually very sad. I wanted to play horse team in Western Conference Finals.
Wait, did that actually happen?
No. It's TikTok. No. You see Mike Malone after the game? Michael Malone.
I saw what happened. I didn't listen to it.
So a reporter basically goes like, how tough is it to face this loss after knowing you're up 20, whatever? He just goes, season's fucking over. What the fuck you mean? Like that's what fucking matters. Stupid fucking question. Just shits on the guy. And like,
what do you
it
think?
is I think it is like, it is a dumb question, but it's a question that has to be asked. You have to ask a question. What else are you supposed to fucking ask? You blew a 20-point lead in Game 7 of the second round.
You had a historic collapse in a Game 7. Thoughts?
Yeah. You have to. Have to.
I wonder if we should like do games on this show anytime somebody flips out over a question. We try and find the way you could best rephrase the question to make it so they couldn't flip out at you.
It's impossible.
I don't know how you would do that. That's a tough one.
Even if he was like having the season end like that after having a 20-point lead, like what goes through your mind when that's happening? Maybe that gets you there.
But does it add any extra sting? I don't know.
Yeah, here.
I had one. I lost
what
it.
was said. Let me pull up what was actually said because I don't think I phrased it completely like what was said. Here we go. One sec.
It's an added perspective now, having been in the rooms for press conferences. You're just like,
it's tough.
If this happened to me, I would probably like never come back.
Yeah. All right, here it is.
How hard is it just to absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20?
That's phrased pretty well.
The season's over. That's what's hard. Fuck being up 20. The season's over. You don't understand that. The season's over. It's hard. Stupid ass questions.
Bro, what do you expect him to ask? Like, he's asking you about blowing the biggest lead. Richard Jefferson was at. I saw this when I searched it.
To absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20.
This is Richard Jefferson's reaction to it.
For what it's worth, I also don't think he sounds as mean as the quote reads.
No, he's just frustrated. I don't think he's mad at the reporter, but
that. The season's over. It's hard. Stupid ass questions.
hard to do, but I was always taught handle success like a gentleman and handle failure like a man. Look, you just lost a game 7. You're supposed to be frustrated, but they're not stupid ass questions. You're frustrated, but they're not stupid ass questions. These are legitimate questions from legitimate reporters. Look, we saw the tour. We saw the success. We saw the revenge tour. Oh, we're keeping receipts and this and that. I love that. That's part of what Coach Malone does well. He inspires his guys. But when you lose and someone asks you a legitimate question, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it, I'm going to party and be that dude. And then when we lose, stupid ass questions. No, that shit, that to me is unfair to the reporters. That's a legitimate question. You're just frustrated, and that's the end of it.
How hard is it?
What do you think of Mike Malone?
Respect. I love Michael
Malone.
Michael Malone. Yeah, he doesn't like Mike, right? Is that the thing?
Yeah, he doesn't. Like
Michael Malone. I love Michael Malone. I like him as a coach. I like the way he carries himself. I think he's just like he's mad. Like I think he's just frustrated.
He caught him at a bad time.
But
like,
yeah,
I think the question was asked well. Like I don't think it wasn't like a snipe. It wasn't like, oh, it's obviously going to get under his skin. We're going to get him fired up and get a quote, viral video or whatever.
It was an unfair response based on the question, but like I also get it because you're mad. It's a game. You lost game 7. Like of course.
I actually think like if he just didn't say stupid ass question, would have been fine.
Yes, I agree. I think up to that point it was fine.
When you read the transcript of that, it looks way worse. Like hearing him say it, you can tell like he's like just talking to the guy and it's like, yeah, it sucks, but he's like, actually, I hated your question.
Yeah.
I know some Celtics fans don't like Michael Malone because he was like, hold that L or whatever. People are not happy.
Who cares? That's what you're supposed to
do. Just
do.
part of his personality. And like, he wasn't like, get fucked Celtics. He was just like,
if Joe Mazzulla did that, people would love it. So, anyways, Wolves, Mavs, Western Conference Finals, Sam. Thoughts?
W Celtics. Celtics biggest winners from Game 7 Sunday. Really?
Yeah. Listen, man. I know everyone's picking Wolves, and I think I'd lean Wolves too, but the Mavs have gotten here for a reason. It's not like they played some baby-ass bullshit teams to get there. The Clippers were hurt, yes, but the Thunder were a good fucking team the whole year, and you can cry in experience, but no, everyone was saying, like, look at these guys. Dominate the Pelicans. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, inexperience be damned. They get to the second round, and they're like, oh, look at them. They'll beat the Mavs. You know, they're taking them back and forth. And then immediately it is, well, they're inexperienced, so we're going to discredit the Mavs. Again, don't think the Mavs are going to beat the Wolves. I think the Wolves are going to win. The Mavs got here for a reason. I think it's more legit than the Pacers side of things because this is their second Western Conference Finals appearance in, 3 years? Like, that's real. It's a real thing. I think the Kyrie-Luka pairing is starting to figure out. I think Luka's starting to, improve. It took him a while, but he's coming around. They got good pieces. PJ Washington's been balling. I think it'll be a series. I think Wolves in 6 probably where I land, but I do think it'll be a good one. I think there'd be close games.
I have a hard time buying Dallas based on where they're getting their 3-point shooting from. PJ Washington, 32% career 3-point shooter. Derek Jones Jr., not a good 3-point shooter career-wise. I think he's around like 30%. Respectively, 40.7, 37.5. Washington 6.8 attempts a game. Live or not lively. Derek Jones 3.3 attempts per game. Sorry, I can't speak.
Yes, but I do think there is a part of that. Because I bet they both shot better in the regular season this year than they have historically, if you looked at the numbers.
Let's pull it up. Basketball Reference. Let's take a look. Because I can get on board with what your hypothesis is, that they're getting better looks than they ever gotten.
Correct. And that is tenfold in the playoffs because teams are sending so much extra pressure at Kyrie and Luka. So, like,
Derek Jones Jr., last season, career high 33.8. This year, career high 34.3. Not a huge difference, but a little jump. PJ Washington. Time to pull him up.
And I don't want to see this year. I want to see Dallas numbers.
No, I'm going to look at Dallas.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's important.
Dallas, 31.4.
Okay. Still bad.
Charlotte 32.4 this year.
Interesting. I do wonder how many more.
Neither one of
open
them
looks.
are really like that
No.
great this year.
I just wonder how many more open looks they are getting in the playoffs and in the regular season. And sometimes, regardless, sometimes teams just get hot. Like, look at the fucking Pacers right now. The Pacers are hot. They're making a lot of shots, and that's what wins. And hotter shooting teams win games. And I guess that's partly what the Mavs are doing. But I also think they have a great 1-2 punch.
I mean, Dallas probably has the best two. The best player in the series.
Yes.
But I don't think Kyrie's better than Anthony Edwards.
No, Ant's better than Kyrie. But I do think
they have two of the top three.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kyrie's the third best player in the series. I still think the Wolves win because of their defense. I think it'll do a good job of sharing the load and shutting down the Mavs. I do think the Mavericks probably have a better chance of picking on Mike Conley than the Nuggets did. Excuse me. Because I do think he's still the weak point on defense, even though he's a fine defender. But I like I said, I think I'll go Wolves in 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate predictions, man. I fucking hate them. Because I feel like such like a sheep. Because I'm like, yeah, I'll go Wolves in 6 too. But I have like.
I think that's the good prediction, though.
My thoughts on the series is I just feel like Minnesota is a more complete team than Denver. I mean, Dallas.
Yeah.
What did I tell you last series about Dallas and OKC? I said, OKC is a more complete team than Dallas is. Exactly. Dallas got a complete team performance from the role players. OKC didn't. Minnesota has gotten really solid performances in big spots from their role guys. Probably trust Jaden McDaniels till he's bringing on defense more than I trust these Dallas guys. Trust Mike Conley. He's been a needle mover for Minnesota and really all of his teams. I know we kind of kicked Utah back and forth on one of these recent pods where I was like, yeah, when he was in Utah, they got off to that crazy start and they were way better than everybody thought they were going to be. And then he got hurt and then they traded him. He got to Minnesota. I think Mike Conley is an impact player. He makes them move. Those guys have credited him for being a big part of what they're doing. And Minnesota truly does have a team feel to it where all these guys have their role. They all seem very comfortable in it. I just like them in this.
Yeah, I think Timberwolves will win, but we'll see. Been surprised before. All right. NBA all rookie teams have been announced. First team, Victor Wembanyama, Jaime Jaquez, Chet Holmgren, Brandon Miller, Brandon Podziemski. Second team, Derek Lively, Gigi Jackson, Keontae George, Amen Thompson, Cason Wallace. Doesn't feel like there are any surprises. Then again, I don't really know off the top of my head, so I'm going to look at the excuse me, the rookies stats just in case I'm forgetting anybody. Let me take a look real quick, see if I'm forgetting anybody. Scoot, not on the team. Probably
a little surprised.
Correct.
That was my first takeaway when I saw this. I was like, that's a little strange. Like, just thinking back to the draft, third overall pick doesn't make either of the all rookie teams. Probably doesn't feel great for Portland. I know he wasn't very efficient this year. He had some struggles. Like he had some, this guy's not doing that great, growing pains as he got into the league. But
feels like he should have been on a team. I
think Pods definitely deserved it. He played a big role for the Warriors, and they sucked. Like he tried to keep them alive at times.
Yeah. Cam Whitmore only played 47 games. I don't think there's technically a rookie rule, but that's probably factored in. Duop Reith, like ironically enough, played really well, but didn't get a team. Derek Lively was good. Probably
surprised
deserved.
He's not on there.
Derek Lively
is second team.
This seems right. It seems fair. Scoot's probably the biggest, like, what are we doing? And if I had to choose, I'd probably bump. Who would I bump? That's the question. I don't know. Probably Keontae George. I feel like they put up very, very similar numbers, but Scoot was slightly less efficient, but I don't know. That's weird. Yeah.
That
Cason
turnover
Wallace
numbers tough on Scoot, 3.4.
Cason Wallace averaged 7 and 2 and 1, but he was very efficient. So I guess the efficiency, but then again, like he's on a better team. So of course the efficiency's gonna be up. So like, that's tough for me. I don't know.
I think Hawkins definitely deserved it. A lot of these guys had fun seasons. George had a big game against the Celtics.
Yeah, I'm good with the first team. First team looks good to me. Second team looks fine too. Like I don't want to take any of those guys out. It just feels like Scoot should have been on a team. It feels like, but he just got kind of dunked on all year. It is what it is. Koulibaly was good too. Who led rookies in rebounding? Oh, of course, it was fucking 1B. What am I saying? I forgot. Vasil and Micic was a rookie. That's fucking. Was he the oldest rookie in the league this year?
Snubbed.
He was, yeah. Micic snubbed. Is this true? Anyways, all right. Next thing we've got is more Cavs stuff. So, this is from who is this from? Is it right there?
Mark Stein.
Mark Stein. Sorry, yes, it's in the big thing. Look for Cleveland's Jared Allen to become one of the most coveted trade targets in the league this offseason if the Cavaliers, A, succeed in signing Donovan Mitchell to a contract extension, and then B, prioritize signing Evan Mobley to a potentially maximum contract. Allen continues to have numerous admirers in rival front offices despite the whispers of frustration circulating in Cleveland surrounding Allen's apparent reluctance to take a pain-killing injection to address a rib injury. On the latest This League Uncut podcast, my co-host Chris Haynes of Turner Sports Illuminated. I see. I thought that was like Turner Sports Illuminated. Anyways, Allen's very understandable reluctance for doing so, reporting that Allen did not want to submit to such an injection because of what happened in the NFL to quarterback Tyrod Taylor in September 2020. Then playing for the Chargers, Taylor sustained a punctured lung when a pain-killing shot was administered to treat a rib injury. Fair enough. Don't want that to happen. If Allen becomes a trade target, he like Mark Stein mentioned, it's like duh. One of the biggest targets immediately, not only because of how good he is, but he's on a $20 million contract for the next 2 years. Like he's a damn good player, and that's a steal of a deal.
Top Jared Allen destinations go. OKC.
OKC is up there. I wonder if San Antonio. I think they like 1B at the 5, but getting a body next to him would be nice. Memphis.
Brooklyn.
I like Memphis a lot for him.
Yeah, because they've moved
put him
up
next to
Steven
Triple J. Yeah, put him next to Triple J. I know they've got Derek Lively, but Dallas feels like a good spot for
Dallas
him.
would be a good one. Just catch lobs from Luka, play defense. Maybe one of these like weird spot rebuilding teams, like Utah.
Maybe.
I don't think he's like a give up the farm guy though for a team that doesn't have a squad yet. He's more of a we're ready now, let's go get an extra guy type player.
If you're the Knicks, do you upgrade from Mitchell Robinson?
I don't know. I don't know if Allen's the way they would go because Hartenstein's a free agent this year, so they have to get him back.
I'm saying re-sign him and bring Allen off the bench.
Bring Allen off the bench? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Doesn't make sense.
I would upgrade that. I'd upgrade that. I don't think they will either, but I think it's intriguing.
Milwaukee? Doesn't make a ton of sense. You can't really shoot, but
not really.
Brook Lopez is getting old.
Orlando?
Maybe. Depends how they feel
Orlando.
about Wendell Carter.
He's fine.
He's
Phoenix?
like a placeholder guy.
If you're Phoenix, do you do something? You try.
What do you have that Cleveland would want?
Please, please give us. That's what you have. You have begging. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't feel like. Outside of that, I feel like OKC's up there, Memphis up there. Those are the biggest ones for me. Golden State. There was something there.
Maybe he could be like a set screens, pass the ball guy, right?
This sounds so dumb, but do you get Scoot an actual big man to play with? Just say like, let's bring someone in. Dear God,
Rob.
The Timberwolves are like, guy, we need to beat Jokic again. Let's bring in another fucking center. They just start stacking them. Yeah, I forgot about Rob. Yeah, I feel like Thunder number 1.
Besides that, like there aren't like a bunch of teams jumping off the
Memphis.
page.
I like Memphis a lot.
Memphis is a good one.
I think that makes sense.
Even New Orleans isn't an exciting one. I think New Orleans needs more like creation. I don't think they need
more shooting
presence.
And they need shooting at the 5. Yeah, it feels like those are the biggest two. Memphis and who did I just say?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, those are probably the best two. All right. Next thing, teams are quote unquote monitoring the Julius Randle situation.
Yeah.
This is from Sham Sharania. Yeah, that is it. They're monitoring the Julius Randle situation.
Put it on the sheet, tweeted it. Prayers to whoever thinks he's the missing piece.
I think Julius Randle is almost underrated at this point. I think he gets way too much slander. I don't think he's phenomenal, but he's still an all-star. Like he's still an all-star caliber player. He's good creation. I think as a secondary option, he's fine for a playoff team. I think as a tertiary option, he could be on a title team. The problem is it's like the Russ in OKC. Like, yes, you can be a great team, but you need the perfect pieces for it to work. And I think that is sort of where Randall falls under. I think he's a great player, but you just need very specific pieces for him to work. He's a good playmaker. He's a fine defender. I think he's a good rebounder for his position, especially. I think when the shot's there, it gives you a huge boost. But I think you need enough scoring and enough shot creation around him for where you don't really need that. And genuinely, I think Dallas would be fucking great for Julius Randle. You put two elite shot creators around him so he doesn't have to have the ball, but you still have an extra option who can bang down low in the post a little bit, hit a three for you every once in a while. I really, really think Julius Randle would be good in Dallas. Like if I had to pick a place.
You know what you just described to me?
What?
Porzingis in Dallas.
No, not the same at all. Not even close.
You have a guy that you can kind of post up once in a while and then shoot threes.
No, because you have the
That's what I heard.
rebounding, you have the extra shot creation, you have the. I think Julius Randle is a much better post-up player now than Porzingis was when he was in Dallas. I think he's a much better defender at the spot. I think you can still run Derek Lively. Like they were running Porzingis at the center for a lot of the times. I think Julius Randle's a lot more mobile. I think he's much better playmaker than Porzingis was. I like Dallas. I think they're genuinely teams that would like to get Julius Randle on their team. The question is like, what do the Knicks want, or what would the Knicks do, or are they going to use him to get a better piece? Like, is he just going to be a salary filler to get the Knicks a star, or is another team going to actually try to trade for Julius Randle? Because I do genuinely think there are teams that would be better if they traded for Julius Randle.
Last three seasons, 30.8, 34.3, 31.1% from three.
Mm-hmm. Hasn't been good.
He's just not he's in the Levine category to me. 3.5 turnovers a game, 2.8 last year, 3.4 the year before, 3.4 the year before that.
I think he's better than Levine.
If you had to power rank him, yeah, probably, but they're in like that same range.
At least he plays defense. Like I think he's a good defender, he's a good rebounder, he's a good playmaker. And for as inefficient as he's been and as somewhat turnover prone as he's been, like those are three very valuable skills, especially if you have two guys like Luka and Kyrie who can handle most of the ball handling. And I think that's why you've seen him be better with Jalen Brunson starting to take over. And for what it's worth, I think the Knicks would be fine keeping him. You have Brunson in this elevated role. OG Anunoby there as well, like all these other pieces around him where he's not going to have to take on that larger load. I think you could see a really good season from Julius Randle next year. I'll put it this way, with how much like shit that's gone on, I would be buying Julius Randle stock at this point instead of selling it.
I think if you're the Knicks, you keep him around to see how it goes. And then if it's not working, like you're like, oh, well, all these other guys played really well last spring together and just don't need some guy doing spin moves and losing the ball out of bounds. Maybe we'll trade him somewhere. But
I think you're going to get a really good season.
Let me find the awards tab here on Basketball Reference.
3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 1-time Most Improved.
I have that stuff, but I want to see like where he like placed in defensive voting. All defensive voting shares 20th in the 2020-21 season. So he's not really like he's probably like an average defender. He has the size not to get bullied, which is good.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's like otherworldly, but he's like a solid enough defender where he's fine. He's a good rebounder for his position. Yeah, he averaged 10 rebounds one of these years, right? Yeah, he's averaging 10-ish rebounds a season.
Yeah,
he's good playmaker.
9.4. Good rebound.
Good secondary rebounder at the very least. And I don't think you'll ever get back to that magical 40% shooting year from three. That was nuts. But I think you can get like, even if you plateau around 34 where he was last year, You're fine. You live with that. You're good with that because of the other stuff he brings to the court.
He averaged 32 points a game for the Pelicans, huh? Oh, no, that's per 100%. I was like, holy shit, he had a year in New Orleans.
No. I feel like people are too harsh on Julius Randle nowadays. I'm buying the stock.
Hey, flags planted. Until he's like otherworldly, I'll be like, this guy's just a losing player.
Fair enough. Is this the last? No, second to last NBA thing. LeBron James is reportedly not involved in the Lakers coaching search.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Big lie from Shams. Yeah, there you go. Put it on the sheet for you. Don't think so. Think that's not true. Not involved in, oh yeah, my podcast buddy is up to be the coach. But I swear I don't have anything to do with it. Oh no, I don't really care you hire as coach, but I'm gonna go sit courtside at the Cavs game.
Quote, I'm told LeBron James is not involved in the Lakers head coaching search. James has made it clear that this is the organization's decision. Yeah. He's had no conversations with the Lakers about JJ Redick.
I don't think LeBron's ever made it clear that it's the organization's decision ever.
I believe he's had no conversations with the Lakers about JJ Redick. Sure. But he's probably had conversations about conversations. He's probably like, hey, this guy JJ is probably be a pretty good coach. Like, I'd probably play for a team that he plays for. He's probably doing this subtle like fuck you bullshit. Like yeah, I'd probably stick around if they hired a former 3-point sniper who might have played for the Clippers, Pelicans, and Sixers. Just throwing some darts at the board though. Not gonna name any names. You know what I'm saying? Like he's probably pulling one of those.
Yeah, maybe he's putting this out there because it doesn't want to come off as like podcast nepotism, where his podcast partner is getting the job, and it's only because he's LeBron's buddy.
If anything, maybe it is like, I didn't even think about that. Maybe it is to like help keep JJ like respectable image, because I do think genuinely JJ will be a good head coach, but
I think JJ Redick
to start your career.
JJ Redick loves basketball enough to where he's putting in the work. He's watching all these games. Like, not to say that there are other people that don't watch all these games, but like he clearly has the mindset that it takes to be a coach. He cares. He's somebody that wants to read the game the best way. I think it's a little strange that he hasn't not only ever been a head coach, but he's never even been on a staff.
Yeah, I feel like, if anything, maybe this is so it's not a Steve Nash-esque hire where it's, yeah, these guys wanted him, so we brought him in. Notice how Steve Nash hasn't sniffed the NBA.
Hasn't exactly popped up in all these coaching hires. But again, that's the risk you run when you become a head coach for the first time. That has nothing to do with the teams you're coaching for. Just any person becomes an NBA head coach for the first time. You're going to be held to whatever the results were as they continue to think about vacancies in the future. Now, I would say maybe if you're going to be a first-time head coach, don't go somewhere where your office is under the bus. Brooklyn, Steve Nash, office right underneath the bus. Kyrie, KD, just spinning the tires. LeBron, best bus driver on all the land. Forward, back. He'll run you over as many times as possible. I'm trying to think of other examples because I didn't want to just single those guys out. I honestly can't think of them.
When have you ever had a problem singling those guys out?
Well, because I want to make a legitimate point. Like, I think this is a dangerous case for these guys. And I know we talked about this before, and you were like, and then like you just don't have the roster to compete, and then everyone's like, well, that team sucks. Yeah, but the whole point of like the Lakers is they have top talent at the top. They don't necessarily have the best rest of the gang, but they're supposed to be good.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope JJ succeeds. I like JJ. Last thing,
I'm not rooting against JJ.
I know. Last thing, Chris Paul is apparently a big rat. So former NBA referee. Yeah. Former NBA ref Bill Spooner, quote, this is from The Athletic. I'm going to tell you, and I know you're recording me, but I get asked all the time, who are some of the tough guys, some of the bad guys? And when I tell them that Chris Paul, in my 32 years in the league, was one of the biggest assholes I've ever dealt with, they say, not Rasheed Wallace or da-da-da-da-da. Nope, nothing like Paul. And they're like, oh, he seems like such a nice guy. And I say, yeah, he's a great image cultivator. It is perhaps the least surprising thing on the planet that the refs all hate Chris Paul. The least surprising thing.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that's going to war with Scott Foster, really. Scott's the man. Like a good neighbor. Chris Paul's there to yell at your ref.
Cliff Paul. Yeah, shocker, though. Refs don't like Chris Paul. Who would have fucking thought? All right, shall we do our own rat list, Sam?
Rat list, indeed.
Would you like to start?
Yeah, rat list my parents. So yesterday,
No.
playing MLB the show, I'm playing well. Kind of finding my footing a bit. Struggled a little while here. Win a game, win another game, go into a third game on a little bit of a streak. I get a random text. It's like, hey, need you to help carry this table. I don't have a table carrying amount of time on the pause timer. So I had to lose this game. I was pissed.
Tough. It's tough.
I slammed the headset, stormed down, and I came back to a loss. Could have got lucky. There could have been a guy that was like, no, I'll wait out and wait till he comes back. I was winning the game, by the way, too. It's not like it just started. Like, I was like probably 4 innings in with a lead.
Yeah.
A little pissed.
Yep. That's tough.
It could have been avoided if there was like, hey, we're going to go get this. We're going to be back. Can you help? Yeah.
They're just not starting the game.
And I'm not blindly going into a game. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. That's a tough one. What do I want to rat list? I don't know if I have much. I was gonna rat list traffic, but it wasn't that bad yesterday. I don't have much.
The Indy 500.
Rat list the Indy 500. Fuck that. Price is an Indy for the fucking rat list the Knicks, man. You couldn't win one more fucking game for me, you motherfuckers.
Perpetual
rat list
Indiana.
on the Knicks. Ugh, I don't want to go to Indiana, man.
You would have thought because they had 5 championship parades after all their home wins that they would be able to win a game 7 at home, but I guess not.
I'm gonna have to fucking drive 14 hours to Indiana. Not
that
fun.
Sounds miserable. And it sounds even worse for recording. Now that I think about it. We may have to like backlog some stuff or something.
Oh, you're right. I can record from the car.
That would be something. That I wouldn't hate.
Or I could record at a rest stop. Really, we only have to do a 10-minute video, right?
Yeah, it'll be something quick.
All right, I'll do something on the road, then I'll fucking wing it. That's fine. I don't have many of the rat lists.
Saturday game, Sunday off day, Monday game, drive back Tuesday.
Yes, and Tuesday could be another 10-minute video. It's fine. Cool. Okay, I didn't even think about that. Good call.
I was just like, oh boy. But yeah, you're going to Indy. The Indy 500 is the same weekend as Game 3.
Ugh.
And everybody and their mother is going to Indianapolis. This is a huge event. The person that posted in the Celtics subreddit called it the biggest single-day sporting event in the world, which I'm not convinced is true because the Super Bowl's a thing. Unless they're counting the Super Bowl as a multi-day thing because it just goes on for like a week of like all these events around it, but I don't think that's true. Hey guys, hit me if you want, but I just want to shout out that between games this weekend, we have the Indy 500 going on, which is the largest single-day sporting event in the world. And
oh my God.
Much to Jack's dismay, everybody is flying in for this, so ticket prices on airlines were unbelievably expensive.
They're correct.
Oh.
200 to 250,000 people live.
Live? I mean live.
Indianapolis
What kind of
500.
stadium they got to hold 250,000 people?
The Indy 500 attracts around 350,000 people when general admission tickets are added to the 250,000 permanent seats at the Indy Motor Speedway.
We got to pull up the Indy Motor Speedway. We got to take a look at this thing.
I did not. Okay, here. I'm sharing screen. Can you take Matt off?
Matt is off.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God.
They could fit 250,000 people in that place.
Look at how big the fucking track is.
Yeah, but where are the seats?
All of this. These are all fucking bleachers, brother.
Those are all bleachers?
Yes.
Oh boy. You guys gonna go?
Look at this. Fuck no. You want to watch cars drive for 3 hours? It sounds so fucking stupid. Yeah, look at all these fucking people. Holy shit.
Yeah, they got the two levels.
Hold on,
This is one sport I'll never understand.
Let me see. Most people.
So the answer that comes up on Google is a soccer match in, I think they said Brazil, with just under 200,000 people at it.
Yeah.
This Indy 500 said 350,000. That's kind of unbelievable. It's a lot of people. To put that in perspective, my state has a little over 1 million. We did this a couple pods ago. I think it was what? Wyoming has 550,000 people?
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Formula One is number one.
How many they have?
But well, this is average attendance at a Formula One event is 279,000. So I can imagine another race has, you know what I'm saying?
How exciting can a race be?
Not very.
Yeah. That's one I don't know.
I know a lot of people love F1, but I'll do it. Sorry. But Jesus, man. That sucks. That's so many fucking people. That's so many people.
This is literally the worst weekend of all time for you to have to go to Indiana.
Yes. There's not a worse possible time for me to have to go to Indiana, let alone the fact that I have to go to fucking Indiana. Does Larry Bird show up to
that's
a
less
game?
than ideal too, but
Does Larry go to a game?
Oof. I say no.
Celtics Pacers Eastern Conference Finals. Like that if he was ever
And if
going
he
to
does,
go to a
it's in
game.
India. It's not here.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But if there was ever a game for him to go to, this is it. Right? Like painted for him.
I don't know.
Huh. You have anything else? I don't have anything else. Men's league. Ratless. We lost.
Yeah, we lost.
What?
I played bad. Very bad. All right. Yeah, I'm hungry.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to Bout Them Celtics. We'd appreciate it very much. A lot of support in the recent videos. Hopefully it keeps up for the playoffs. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Sam, let you wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with something new at 5 a.m. every single day. We have full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps the morning after, so we'll be here tomorrow morning. And other videos in between. We won't have many of those until the series is over because every other day. It's going to be fantastic. Content easy. But yes, we have Talking C's live streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. We have Celtics the Roundtable will be Wednesday around 6 this week. And then we've got pregame for every game. So hit the bell. You won't miss any of it. Leave a like, comment. We appreciate you guys. Spotify and Apple is the place to find our audio versions. You can find the pods and game recaps there. So if you follow us, they'll go right into your feed. Leave a 5-star review. You can email us. hbtcpod@gmail.com is the address. You saw RJ. You saw Pete. They got in on the fun today. Be like them. We'll always read what you guys have to say. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's just the name of the pod. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube and they're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack Simone NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Tic-taco. Come on. Taco.